So you may have seen in my last video talking about what you need to do before you even take that first step, before you even get on the diet plan, before you start an exercise routine. You need to get real. And the acronym I discussed was R for realization, E for evaluation, A for awareness, and L for logical. What I want to do now is just drop into a little bit more in depth to each one of those individually. And today we're going to talk about realization. So what realization refers to is it's not an intellectual knowing this, it's an emotional knowing. So basically at some point, I think in any behavior change, not just getting in shape, it dawns on you, holy shoot, I'm the guy who's got to sort this out. And when this dawns on you, it changes everything. But where I say it's emotional is that it's pretty obvious that you're the one who's going to have to sort this out, whatever goal it may be. Make money, change your body shape, improve your relationships. But we're too busy blaming other people. We're too busy blaming our excuses. We're too busy blaming our lack of motivation. We're too busy blaming our friends, our partner, whatever it may be. We're too busy doing that, which means we never get that realization that, hey, this is my responsibility to sort out. And it ties straight in with the reason you're out of shape is your fault. Not meant as a criticism, but so many people again blame other things. They think, oh no, it's because I'm busy, because I changed jobs, it's because I had a baby, it's because I got issues with my relationships. No. The responsibility is yours, and the blame, if you want to put it that way, for not being in the shape you want to be is also yours. So when this dawns on you at an emotional level, it's powerful, very powerful, because most people are so busy looking for somebody else to get the results, they never bother to really ask themselves, what can I do about it? So this is pretty much the first step to any behavior change, is understanding that my responsibility to change, only I'm going to do it, and it's my fault that I'm here in the first place. None of this is blame, guilt, this is just fact. The only thing to link to this is you also need to understand at some level that you can change. You don't need to know how to change, but you just need to know that change is possible. If you don't know this, then you won't get anywhere, because if you don't truly believe at some level that you can change, even if it's 1,000,000 to 1, then you're probably not going to look into that avenue. You're probably not going to try that technique. You're probably not going to try this, plan, this strategy, or whatever it may be. So you just got to understand that you can change. And once you understand you can change, you have to know that it's your responsibility to do it. And once you got that, that is the first key step to taking it to the next level. The E stands for evaluation. And the key thing for this issue, it's about getting honest with yourself. And I think this is very difficult for a lot of people. When I'm evaluating myself, I need to do two things, that's all. I want to know, where am I now and where do I want to get to? Sounds simple. Where the honesty is important is that most people don't look at the true picture, and then go two ways. One, you can overbeat yourself up, so you think you've got the worst body shape in the world, when the reality you haven't. You may not be the best shape in the world, but you're certainly not the worst. That's the key thing about getting honesty. And then for other people, it's the other way around. Perhaps some people are kidding themselves. They think they're not that out of shape. They think the clothes are only a little bit tight. They think they're doing okay, when the reality is, perhaps what they should really do is just stop and say, hey, this hurts to say it, but man, I'm fat and I'm out of shape and I need to do something about it. That's a powerful place to be. It's not the best place comforting wise, emotional wise, maybe it hurts a bit, but the other side of honesty, that's where action lives. So you need to evaluate where you are now, emotion free ideally, but completely honest, so you know this is where I'm at. Then the next stage is, where am I honestly trying to get to? And again, people don't really know what they're trying to get to. Some people think they've got to be like a supermodel, but actually emotionally they don't want to be there. They just want to lose whatever, half a stone, who knows. The point being, you need to get honest on what am I actually trying to achieve, because a lot of people don't get this, and a lot of people are chasing one goal when they actually want another, or they're put off so much by the thought of having to do 6 years to get in shape like this person on the magazine cover that they never even bother trying. But that's not where the emotions, where the heart, where the goals are actually at right now. And the reason this is so important, this evaluation honesty, is from this you should be able to work out roughly the time scale it's going to take for you to get there. And for most people, when they're being honest, this is another painful experience, and I'm not one to hide away from the pain, because on the other side of it you've got the real inspiration. You just got to see the facts, and the facts could probably well be it's going to take you a year to get to where you want to go. Now for most people, they let that put them off, or they hide it, they never face it. But the actual thing is, the reality of it is more empowering than it is negative for your motivation. Because once you see that, once you know that, then you can stop all this stupidity of 5-day diets, 10-day boot camps, crazy workouts and so forth, because you know, hey, I got to do this for a year. So I need a plan that at some points is quite intense, but at other points is completely normal and allows me to follow it long term. And this is the power of evaluation. So what you need to do is get honest. Where am I now? Where am I truly trying to get to? How long is that going to take? And then you've got some really powerful information before we've even taken that first step. It stands for awareness. So I think one of the most important things you can do is to attune when you're getting into shape, into your feelings. And it's something that most people won't do, because, I don't know why, but the reality is you're the one who's having to get results. So you need to know what the heck you're feeling. What are you prepared to do? Equally, what are you not prepared to do? These are two important questions, because there's more than one way to skin the cat, so to speak. There's more than one way to get the results that you want to get. So the question then becomes, what am I actually enthusiastic to do? What am I actually dreading to do? Would I rather not do? Just shoot me. I'd rather, do anything else but go and get results using this methodology. It's important to ask yourself that. Likewise, you need to factor in a bit of information. What's worked for you in the past? What's worked or not worked for you? What's been a total disaster for you? All of this learning information. Because reality has it, this isn't the first time you tried to get in shape. Hopefully by this setup process you realize it's going to be different this time, but you've got a lot of information that's really valuable from your previous failures, so to speak, and successes, of course. So we need to make use of that. So you're asking yourself again, what has worked for me before? What has been awful for me before? If you link that through then to it's how am I at emotionally? What do I feel like doing? What do I really not want to do right now? And don't go all judgmental here thinking you have to do something because people tell you have to do it. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't feel like doing that. If you love doing that, you love doing that. Now, it doesn't matter if 2 months ago it was the other way around. You're just going with your emotions, how you feel with them right now. So another important aspect to link into this also is, what's my schedule? What's my life like? What's my work circumstances like? Because it could have been last time you got in shape by going to the gym twice a day, yet that was 4 years ago, and now I've got 2 kids and a busy job and I'm stressed. It ain't gonna work. So you have to look at realistically, what am I sort of doing that allows me to get the results within my schedule. So it's those 3 different elements. What do I actually want to do right now? Where am I at emotionally? Then it's about what's worked before, and then it's factoring in what is my schedule, my life like, would this plan even come close to working? And with that information, you've got the awareness you need going forward to the next step. Remember, this is all pre-step. We haven't even talked about what to do, diet, nutrition. This is all pre-step and just evaluating what possible plans could actually work with me going forwards. The final element is getting logical. It's a shame that you have to put this into a pre-start, but it just represents the way the world works when it comes to getting in shape. And the idea is, We're dealing with basically a biochemical maths type equation. We basically want to know is how much food do I need to eat? How do I get around to doing that behavior wise? How much do I need to move my body exercise wise? Again, how can I get around to achieving that objective on a consistent enough basis? A consistent enough basis to do that for, I don't know, how long did your goal take? 6 months, 12 months, 24 months possibly. It's difficult to say. So the idea we have to get logical means forget the emotion. And that's the way it gets tough, huh? We have to forget emotion, how we're feeling. That's not going to help us here. What we have to do is bring it back every time to what is the brain saying, what's the scientific saying, what's the logical sense here with what I've just thought or felt. Because what happens is, if we can listen to our intuition, to the feeling inside, we'll get our results, no worries. But we don't listen to that. We've got too much craziness going on up there, making us illogical and struggling to get results. So what I need you to do is then just begin to ask yourself, anything you're thinking about doing, anything, you need to just question it with a bit of friendly critique, should we say. The idea being that once you get the answers back to you that says, hey, this works, you can then feel confident that you can go ahead and do what you got to do. But if you're trying to do a 5-day diet for an 8-month problem, that isn't logical. If I'm trying to do 2 times a day in the gym and I've got a full-time job, 2 kids, that ain't logical. If I'm trying to measure progress but I can't see my progress because I'm all emotional about my results, that again is not logical. So logical common sense, it's much of the same thing. The point being is, you've got to ask yourself, how do I bring this scientific element into this and drop the emotional one, especially when it comes to things like picking plans to follow. With every single nutrition supported by some diet plan or another, what's stopping you picking the one with your favorite foods? Well, it should be your logical reasoning, your logical thinking, because it's not about picking what you want best, it's about picking the one that works best. And that's the big difference that people don't understand or will never be able to see if you're all emotional instead of scientific. So that's what you need to think about if you're going forward, is how can I bring that scientific element, the logical element into play. And if we pull that in, then results will come about. So this is all pre-start. Next video I'm going to talk about, hey, what do we do when we've actually started, or before we start but we're getting things formed. As ever, if you've got questions, comments, problems, drop me an email and I'll catch you in the next video.